It begins as a whisper, a promise. That breeze became a wind. A wind, my brothers, of sacrifice. A wind of freedom. A wind of justice. A wind of vengeance.
Hey folks, what's up? My name is Sir Medieval, and today we'll be discussing some pretty big news regarding AscentInfiniteRealm. Now, just to disclaim it now, it is not the biggest news we could have received, which is a release date for the testing phase launch in Thailand, but for those of you who have been waiting for any AscentInfiniteRealm news, it can be classified as something pretty awesome. Without further ado, let us begin. So in recent news, Playpark has announced that they will be holding a contest via their social media for a total of 50 players to visit their company building to test out the AscentInfiniteRealm Thailand version of the game. While this is great all around for people finally getting the opportunity to test the game out with the new implementations, of course unless you live over there you probably won't be able to test the game in any way, shape, or form. However, I'm hoping this means the possibility of game footage being recorded and shown to the public to give us a better idea of what to expect. This test will be held from March 9th through 10th for 6-hour periods, so hopefully that'll be enough time to spark some reviews and footage of the game. On the North American side of things, 2 weeks ago they released a class screenshot and an info news post that gives a brief description of each class in the game. They read as follows. To describe the Warlord would be to dredge up thoughts of an overwhelming presence who overtakes enemies by pure strength. The Warlord also has the trust of their companions to protect them from incoming danger. The design of the Warlord's weapon and armor were designed with these two playstyles in mind. Assassin. You may imagine an assassin as a covert and cruel character, but in AscentInfiniteRealm the assassin also likes to fight furiously with the flurry of daggers as quick as lightning. This class was designed to express both playstyles. These two expressions can be seen as a dance because of their slow, sneaky moves and sudden dramatic attacks. Elementalist. The Elementalist in air is an explosive class who dominates the battlefield. Harnessing the power of the elements may seem like an exercise in futility, but it requires a cool composition and knowledge of tactics. Therefore, we wanted to deliver a striking but restrained attitude. While using colorful and refined materials such as a tuxedo, magic hat, and wand, the Elementalist is designed to apply the unique style of air. Mystic. Mystic is a magical class who is in communion with nature. Instead of simply supporting her allies, she actively rushes to their aid. Healing is obviously the main purpose of the Mystic's magic, but we didn't want to limit her abilities to just healing. To communicate the Mystic's playstyle and lore, her costume was inspired by the variety of natural abilities the Mystic has at her disposal. Gunslinger. The Gunslinger is one of the classes that best conveys the style of air. With dual pistols and rifle they can dance around the battlefield. The material used and the style of the Gunslinger should invoke the world of air, particularly with a modern coat, wide-brimmed hat, and mysterious mask. In minor news related to this, we also have access to what the minimum spec requirements will be. Here's a quick look for those of you who are curious about it. And now for the meat and bones of the news day, it looks like AscentInfiniteRealm's Thailand publisher Playpark has decided to release a full trailer for the game, and I have to say it was definitely something we needed. Now we just need to experience that and hopefully have it not lag too much. For those of you who haven't seen it already, here's a playback. As you can see, it seems they've certainly been trying to make use of their development time. Early on during the time that they were going to release the game in a global beta state, I believe they said that they were going to take time to polish up / revamp the game. And as many know, the game is run on Unreal Engine 3, which usually these days would be considered an outdated engine. However, there was one that released last year in Unreal 3 that shook the foundation of that claim to its core, and that's Lost Ark. Lost Ark's model was built on the Unreal Engine 3, but had additions added to it as if it would become close to Unreal 4 while getting improvements to optimization, graphics, and general functions. My belief and hope is that AscentInfiniteRealm is on the same track, taking the Unreal Engine 3 and adding on to it to make sure that Air is ready for public consumption. I'm still expecting issues throughout the early phases of testing / launch just because I don't want to get my hopes up to be disappointed, but hopefully it does work out. We really need a decent theme park MMORPG. In terms of the trailer, I could not help but get excited about it actually. It featured a lot of cool things like cool looking bosses, like the quote-unquote Jaeger from Pacific Rim looking robot, the flying dragon, this demonic Balrog, whatever this majestic creature would be, etc. Some of these of course have got to be dungeon bosses, while I'm guessing the dragon would be considered more of a field boss or world boss. In terms of the Jaeger, I couldn't really say. It could be a part of an instance raid, but I'm just hoping it's a world boss because going up against something like that with 100 or so plus people sounds like a lot of fun. They've also been showing off a lot of their air combat, including airships and portable mechs. Seems to have a good variety of each of them with their own benefits to ensure victory for your faction as well. Also, there will be 2 factions if they follow the older version of the game, so be sure to keep that in mind if it happens. Luckily though, we won't have to worry about gender lock. That's been officially put out of the question since we can now play classes on both genders. These airships also do seem guild oriented, as you probably wouldn't be able to fly one as big as this without a guild backing you. More than likely we'll see some sort of guild versus guild action alongside this faction-based warfare if they do have it. This one specifically that we can only see for just a little bit there makes me wonder if there's a possibility of air versus ground-based combat. On top of that, they also show off a little bit of what either looks to be a dungeon or an open world mob zone, as well as things like the housing system, which look very seamless. Being able to customize the textures of everything by the looks of it, and place the entirety of the area by hand, which would make for a lot of happy house builders. I just hope we don't see really cool looking furniture in the cash shop for a crazy price. Fingers crossed that it's cheap at the very least. I do love housing systems in games though, and this one specifically we can even place workshops, gather and craft from them, and from the look of it, assign pets along with NPCs to them. Speaking of the pet system, this also seems to have cool customization to it. Looks like we'll have the ability to apply cosmetics to them and even be able to fight alongside them in combat. The very first pet I get, I'm naming Bubbles. Also, what a great send-off with the glider sequence. I know sometimes gliders can be a hit or miss situation, but hopefully it's done in a way where we won't have to worry about it being more of an exploit rather than a feature, since we can pilot airships anyway. I'm very curious to know more about the storyline and dungeons now, like if that's being tweaked in terms of lore or if we'll be following the same path as the old version. I think this game has the ability to be truly great if they deliver it right. It will be free to play, so I think there will be some things that could be tolerable since they'll most likely have a cash shop, but here's what I'm hoping is the extent of what we'll see. Things like furniture packs, pets if they have to, but make it so you only need one of these if it's similar to BDO's looting system. Since this is Kakao developing it with Bluehole, they might have wanted to incorporate the idea of that one. Also, of course, the cosmetics for your character and pet, bag space while making it possible to earn slots in game, mounts alongside mount cosmetics, possibly guild airship cosmetics or personal airship / mech cosmetics. And on top of that, maybe even like a guild pack where you could have tabards or even have custom flags if you have a base system. Or things like glider skins, and if they have to, I guess slight XP boost, hopefully slight, gold gain boost but hopefully not that much again, repair utilities, reset skill points and attributes if applicable, things like that if it's needed to supplement it, because we have to remember that they'll mainly be getting their revenue from the cash shop and things like expansion packs if they do that sort of thing, and they'll more than likely have founder packs of some kind for sure. So hopefully if we do see some kind of premium subscription, it's not bad. It would be better if we didn't see anything like that at all though too. But in terms of this, even though we as gamers don't always like seeing those things, companies have to make their money somehow, or games get shut down. Only thing I really hope we don't see is things like buying gear straight away and level boosts. Things like that in a PvP / PvE centric game would probably be the thing that really crosses the line. If you folks have anything else you think you'd like to see in the cash shop or wouldn't mind seeing, feel free to comment below as well. But hopefully the game does well optimization wise, has decent story and gameplay, alongside features to hold us over at endgame. The genre of MMORPG is hungry for a new decent release, especially in the Western markets. Forget about mobile games and battle royales, we need some more of this kind of genre. So I'll put some of my cards on this and hope that they see it through. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful night or day, and farewell.